Good evening and welcome here to Perry High School as we get ready for the CVC matchup on the girls' side. As the Lady Pirates come in at 16-4 on the season, they will play host to the Harvey Red Raiders. These teams just met last Saturday and Perry won 44-6. This is the first game of our boy-girls doubleheader. As the boys will be in action following this game, they will also take on Harvey here tonight. As we get ready for the tip, we'll set the starters in a moment as the Red Raiders win the tip and they start here on offense. As the ball goes inside, almost a travel there by Thomas. As skip pass over to Jackson. Jackson drops it down low and it's going to be a fight, a little tie up. Nope. Harvey keeps the possession alive as this pass goes out to Lola Thomas. She hands it off. As this three ball just a little bit off the mark, but an offensive rebound pulled in there by Thomas. Thomas, no one there to stop her. She goes up and under, just off the mark, no good, but we have a foul coming. I believe it's going to be against Sophia Makehad of the Pirates. So for Makehad, that will be her first. As the Red Raiders head to the free throw line. We'll set up the Perry starters here for you as this first free throw attempt will go up. It's going to be both McCoons, Grace, and Izzy, along with Sophia Makehad, who just picked up the foul there. Audrey Austin, as that one is just off the mark for Lola Thomas. Thomas, a senior for the Red Raiders. It is Thomas, Jackson, Lewis, McMullen, and Montgomery, the starting five for the Red Raiders. As the second one is up and good. So the Red Raiders get on the board first. As we're 30 seconds in, as Grace McCoon found Newsom down low. Tipped off by Lola Thomas. It will remain Pirate basketball. On Saturday, these two teams played to a 44-6 victory for the Pirates at Harvey. As Austin gets it into McCoon. Izzy with it, looking, setting up the offense, gets it over to Grace. Grace McCoon with it, hands it off to Austin. Austin, wide open Newsom for three, just off the mark. No good. Offensive rebound pulled in by Makehad. No good. As Harvey comes down with it. Lola Thomas with it, bringing it up for the Red Raiders. As the ball is handed off to Lewis. Lewis back to Thomas. Thomas over to Jackson. Jackson three, bakes it in. As Jackson hits. Leona Jackson hits the three to put up the Red Raiders 4-0 here early on in this ball game. Izzy McCoon's fine. Newsom back up top to Grace. She goes to her left, now back to her right. Back to the left, nice little crossover, puts up a runner in the paint, no good. A rebound pulled in by Montgomery. Montgomery hands it off to Thomas. Thomas with Grace McCoon on her, brings it over to into the forecourt. Thomas thought about a three. Nice defense there by Izzy McCoon. And it's going to be a steal by Grace. She's going to head the other way. Grace McCoon and one. As Grace McCoon gets her first bucket of the game, and she will head to the free throw line to try to complete the three-point play here for the Pirates. Grace McCoon having a fantastic senior season. We'll get into more of her numbers throughout the game today, but coming in averaging 18.4 points per ball game. As she gets the Pirates on the board first. As Grace puts up the first one, no good. Offensive rebound pulled in by Makehad. Makehad puts up a three ball of her own, and she hits. Sophia Makehad for three, her 11th three-point make of the season, shooting 36% from behind the arc as that pass from Thomas tried to get into Lewis, just a little bit off the mark, so it's going to be a turnover by the Red Raiders, and it will be Pirate basketball. So a quick 5-0 run here for the Pirates. As McCoon gets it over to Austin, back up top to Grace, back to Austin. The Red Raiders in a little bit of a zone defense here. See if the Pirates can shoot over top of it. Keeps swinging the ball until they find the open. And that was Izzy McCoon in the corner, and she hits for three. Izzy McCoon is now on the board. 8-0 run here for the Pirates. As it's going to be a quick timeout by the Red Raiders. We'll keep it here to get everything set up here for the moment. But a nice run here by the Pirates as Grace McCoon got things going for the Pirates. As she took the ball strong to the hoop for the first 2 points of the game. Sophia Makehad and Izzy McCoon followed with three-pointers each to put the team up 8-4. So as we look at both starters here tonight, because I don't believe we got into the Harvey starting lineup. It's Deanna Jackson, a sophomore. Haley Lewis, a freshman, number 5. Zierra McMullen, senior. She wears number 10. Lola Thomas, number 12, is a senior. and Montgomery, a sophomore, wearing number 21 for the Red Raiders. The Pirates stay with their starting five of both McCoons, Makad, Austin, and Caitlin Newsom. The five on the floor right now for the Pirates. As Harvey went out to a 4-0 run, and the Pirates have been hot since. As the Pirates bring the pressure, it's going to be tipped by Sophia Makad. She tried to get it back inside, but it's going to be a turnover as the ball goes into the hands of McMullen. She hands it off to Thomas. Lola Thomas bringing it up. She's met by Newsom. Thomas with Newsom in front of her, able to fight through the screen. As this pass is going to be a little bit high and out of bounds, as that pass by McMullen just over the head of Jackson. So it'll be another turnover by the Red Raiders as Grace McCoon brings the ball up for the Pirates. McCoon over to Newsom. Newsom up top to Makad. Makad looking. Finds Grace McCoon. As the Pirates continue to move the ball around the perimeter. Newsom's open for three. Thought about it for a second. Instead tried to drive. Nothing there. Nice shut off there by Lewis. But over to Grace McCoon, who gets it over to Austin. Makad for another three. Just off the mark. No good. Rebound. Tied up. And it's going to be Pirate basketball. As after the time possession arrow stays with the Pirates. As checking in for the Red Raiders, Diaz Jackson will check in here for the Red Raiders. 8-4 your score. 3 minutes gone by here in this opening quarter of the doubleheader. Austin open for three. Rattles in and out, no good, but McCoon is there. Izzy McCoon is there to put in the offensive rebound. So cleaning up the glass there, out to a 10-0 run now for the Pirates, as that went off the hands of Jackson into the hands of Makad. Makad up to Grace McCoon, just a little bit too hot with that pass. Went off her hands, and it will be a turnover by the Pirates. So it'll be Thomas to inbound here for the Red Raiders. Perry up 10-4 here. Nice trap here by the Pirates in the corner. It's going to be Sophia Makad almost with the steal. Now a 3-on-2 break for the Red Raiders. Off the glass, no good for Hicks. Or excuse me, that was Jackson, not Hicks. As the Pirates start to move the ball around. Izzy thought about a three for a moment. Instead gets it over to Grace. Grace puts it on the ground into the paint. Nope, it's going to be tipped away and going the other way for the Red Raiders. Into the hands of Jackson, and it's going to be a foul going against Izzy McCoon. So second foul here on the Pirates as Izzy McCoon picks up her first foul. Team second for the Pirates. Deontay Jackson going to the free throw line. As the first one for Jackson is up and in. So we have a 2-for-2 swap here as number 15, Diamond Jackson, checks in for the first time here tonight. As Jackson rattles the second one in and out. 10-5 your score. As Grace McCoon has it up top. 4 minutes have gone by. We've played half of the first quarter here, and it's going to be a steal by Thomas. Thomas starts to push it off the hands of Hicks, and it will remain Harvey basketball. As Lola Thomas will be the one to inbound. It's Thomas, it's Hicks, it is Diamond Jackson. McMullen on the floor now as McMullen has it, puts it on the ground. Nothing there. Pass into the corner. Nice defense here by Austin as the ball gets over to Hicks. Hicks back up top to Thomas. Thomas with Newsom in front of her. Over to McMullen. McMullen tried to get past Izzy McCoon, and nothing there. The defense there by McCoon to strip the ball and push it the other way. Grace McCoon dribbles it off her foot. Nope, it's off the foot of McMullen, so it'll remain Pirate basketball. First substitutions here of the night is Roz Tharp and Victoria Lynch check in. Makad and Austin head to the bench for the Pirates. 10-5 your score. Grace McCoon with it. As we get ready for this doubleheader tonight, the boys will be action following this game as Grace McCoon goes up and under and in. She's going to have the opportunity to complete another three-point opportunity as Grace McCoon went up and under. No one stopped her, so she just continued to drive to the basket. A little up and under and in. Jackson on the foul. That's Diamond Jackson on the foul. Sorry for the Harvey folks checking in. I got to remember that there's 3 Jacksons on the roster as McCoon puts up her free throw and she connects. We have a substitution coming in. Newsom on her way out. Checking in will be Abby Bartlett, the junior, wearing number 1, checks in for her first time here in this ball game. 13-5 the score. As the Pirates are on a 13-1 run here. Nice defense there by both McCoon and Abby Bartlett. As that one is almost thrown away, Thomas gets it up into the forecourt. It's going to be last touch by Lynch as it went off her foot and kicked out of bounds. So it remained Harvey basketball, but a nice trap there by the Pirates to force the Red Raiders to speed up their offense a little bit. Diamond Jackson checking out. Checking back in is number 4, Deanna Jackson. Checks back in for the Red Raiders. As Thomas looks to inbound it here. And it's going to be not a backcourt violation. It gets into the hands of Lynch. She goes off the glass and in. Victoria Lynch gets her first baskets of the ball game. As Lynch comes in averaging 5.4 points per ball game, as the score is up to 15-5 now with the Pirates out to a 10-point lead. As that runner just off the mark by Hicks, And we have a timeout called by Coach Infalvi. So it's just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here as we look at this game here for the Pirates. They're coming off a win in their last game as they beat, well, it was Harvey, but the game before that against Geneva, they were at Geneva with a 61-32 victory. Pirates now sit at 16-4 on the season. In the game against Geneva, they clinched their 7th consecutive CVC title. So 5-year run for Coach Infalvi in the 2 years prior to that. So a nice run here for the Lady Pirates as they have their 7th consecutive CVC title. The Pirates on a 5-game winning streak right now as they have beat Beechwood, Lakeside, Edgewood, Geneva, and Harvey. And they have 2 games remaining after tonight, as they'll be back in action on Monday as they will host North. And that will be followed by a game on Thursday against Brush. So 2 strong teams for the Pirates to close out against. And not to take anything away from Harvey here tonight, as Newsom has it. Bringing it up for the Pirates as Newsom has checked back in. As Grace McCoon has it, thought about a 3 for a minute. Also had Tharp down low, nothing there. As handoff goes into Izzy McCoon, she tries to go to her right, nothing there. Passes it back to Grace. Abby Bartlett with it. Back up top to McCoon. McCoon, skip pass over to Newsom, just off her chest and into the hands of the Red Raiders as it's into the hands of Jackson. Nice defense by Newsom to get back there, as that one will be last touch by Newsom and it will remain Red Raider basketball. As Jackson getting ready to inbound here for the Red Raiders. Tharp, Newsom, both McCoons and Abby Bartlett, your 5 on the floor right now for the Pirates. As Jackson able to get that one in. Into the hands of Lewis. Lewis with Newsom in front of her. Sends it over to Jackson. Jackson, skip pass over to Deshante Jackson, who puts up a 3, no good. Rebound pulled in by Grace McCoon. McCoon up to Izzy McCoon. Bounce pass into Ross Tharp, running the floor and connects. Beautiful play there by the Pirates as that ball barely touched the floor until the bounce pass by McCoon over to Tharp. As Tharp's going to come up with a steal, she's going to get it to Abby Bartlett. 1:40 to go here in this first quarter. Pirates up 17-5 as Grace McCoon puts it on the ground. Over to Newsom. Newsom step up jumper just off the mark, no good. Rebound going the other way for the Red Raiders. As Lewis has it, hands it off to Montgomery. Montgomery throws that one away as Izzy McCoon picks it off. McCoon over to Grace. Grace for a long 3. Off the back of the rim, no good. Red Raiders pushing the other way. 2-on-1. Nice defense there by Izzy McCoon to get back. I thought there was going to be a charge, no call. Ball goes into the hands of Abby Bartlett. And we're just under a minute to go here in this first quarter as McCoon gets it up to Newsom. Newsom, not shy, puts up that runner in and out. As that ball looked like it was halfway down before it came popping back out. Last touch by Roz Tharp, and it'll be Red Raider basketball. Pirates are going to check in too. Both McCoons on their way out Sophia Maycad and Victoria Lynch coming back in for the Pirates. For the Red Raiders, it's McMullen, it's Thomas. It is Lewis, who now gets it over to Montgomery. Montgomery with a little runner, and it's going to get stuck between the rim and the backboard. So we either need one of the boys basketball players to come out here, or someone's going to have to go get a broom to get this one out. Nope, it's going to be Coach Falvey, who's going to grab a basketball and have Victoria Lynch hit that one out and in. I thought maybe Coach was going to come and show off his hops here, but I guess not. He wanted to play it safe here, not pull anything. As it's 17-5 now with 43 seconds remaining here in this opening quarter. As Thomas looks to inbound. Thomas is going to throw it back and into the hands of Lewis. Lewis met by Newsom. Thomas wanted it back, nothing there. Lewis with Newsom right on her hip. Hands it off to Thomas. The ball popped out for a moment. Thomas looking inside, nothing there. Still looking, 30 seconds to go, first quarter. Hands it off to Lewis. Lewis back to Thomas. Thomas inside to Montgomery, and we're going to have a foul going against Roz Tharp. For Roz, that will be her first foul. Team's third here in this opening quarter. Pirates on a 17-1 run. Started this game trailing 4-0. The Red Raiders had a free throw in the mix, but 17 straight points for the Pirates. As this one was nice denial there by Lynch. But into Lewis. Lewis with a little jumper, no good. Into the hands of Maycad. 15 seconds to go as Abby Bartlett brings it back the other way. Bartlett finds Roz. Roz Tharp with it, with Montgomery on her. Roz is shut off, 10 seconds to go. Bounce pass is turned over into the hands of Lewis. Lewis thinking about it, passes it off to a long three, rattles in. What a way to end the quarter as Jackson hits a long three, her second three of the ball game. Ends a 17-1 run by the Pirates, and we go to end this first half with a 17-8 opening quarter. Pirates with the lead. We'll take a quick timeout, and when we come back, we'll be joined by the boys basketball coach, Coach Isafano, when we come back. Back here at Perry's, we get ready to start the second quarter. The Pirates with a 17-8 lead over the Harvey Red Raiders. Pirates 16-4 on the season. First game of a doubleheader here tonight, as the boys will be in action following us here, as they will tip off around 7:30, also against Harvey. And joining us now, the boys basketball coach, Coach Al Isafano. And Coach, thanks for coming up here. It's been a couple years, and I don't think we've had you on the stream at all.
No, this is a first for me. I'm pretty excited. I appreciate you having me up here, Gene.
No problem. A fantastic start to the boys' season, as you guys are now approaching the crunch time, as playoffs are just around the corner. As that pass goes into Lynch, and a little floater up and in. Victoria Lynch now with 4. Just an overview of how the season has gone through your eyes.
We've been pretty satisfied with the progress we're making this year. The kids are bought into the kind of the expectations and philosophies that we hold up in a program. They're playing well at the right time. They're taking every opponent with the same type of approach and focus. And our practices, as we were talking to them about it this week, have been really, really consistent. Good effort and good energy and the things that good basketball teams do. So we're so far, so good, satisfied with where we're at from a practice, preparation, and performance standpoint.
And the boys have already clinched the share of the Lake Division. Obviously, a win tonight can go a little bit further with that, but you have Harvey coming in. What are we expecting from them? Obviously, you guys have played them earlier in December at third place, but I'm sure a lot has changed in a month and a half as we have our second ball get stuck between the backboard and the rim.
Yeah, Harvey, if you look at their record, they have 4 wins right now, and you shouldn't be fooled by that. They're a young basketball team. They're strong. They're athletic. They're well organized. Coach does a great job with them. They really have been in a lot of games. They just haven't maybe been able to put those 32 minutes together enough to get over the hump and be a little closer to 500. But we had a hard time with them the first time we played them. It was single, 2 or 3 possession game at halftime, 2 or 3 possession game going into the fourth. We ended up extending a little bit in the fourth quarter, but we expect a battle tonight. They've won 2 games, 2 out of their last 3. So they have nothing to lose, and they have some talent. So it'll be a tough game for the Pirates tonight.
Harvey takes the timeout here, 19-8, your score here in the second quarter of the opening ball game here tonight of the doubleheader. And as we look at your roster and how the things have gone, let's start with a couple of the seniors. Let's start with obviously the newest member of the 1,000 point club in Jake Cubison. Just what he's brought this season. It seems like every time I look in the box score, it's a 20-point night. Everything has gone well for him this season.
He's been so consistent, which isn't a surprise. He's very experienced. He's been starting since the middle of his freshman year. He puts a ton of work in during the summertime, in the fall, and obviously that doesn't change during the season. A very humble kid, great teammate, well respected from his coaches and the guys that he plays with. And we continue to kind of look at every time he shoots the ball as a coaching staff and say, anytime Jake shoots it, it's probably a good look.
Yeah.
Because he's that dangerous.
And if I'm right, you've had a part of all 5 of the boys' 1,000-point scorers, right? You played with Patrick, and you've coached the other 4?
You're right. Yeah, I haven't thought about it that way, but you're right. Yeah, I did play with Mike. I graduated with him, and what an absolute stud he was. He was unbelievable. And then, fortunate enough to coach the other 4 guys.
So you can use that when it comes contract negotiation time. If you want to throw that in there, I'll only take a small cut after that. But as this shot goes,
I don't know. If I have that many 1,000-point scores, I might lower my pay because my job's too easy. So we'll keep that quiet. Hopefully TJ's not watching the live stream here.
Yeah. So as the boys will get going here after this game, and as we continue down, let's stick with Charlie Rockwell. Up and down, but force defensively, can pull down some rebounds for you guys. Just what is he brought to the squad?
Charlie is the ultimate, man. He's in a tough role because some games we call on him a little bit more than others, and for any kid that's a pretty tough role to take, and probably more so as a junior. But some nights his number is called a little bit more, and depending on matchups and when his number is called. You know what you're going to get consistently. It's the same type of consistency we get from him in practice. It's going to be leadership. It's going to be high energy, giving us 110% out there, and whatever he can do to bring some positive minutes and energy to the game. We couldn't be more proud of him, whether he plays 15 minutes or whether, could have been a couple games where he gets more spots minutes in that 4 to 6 minute range. But his role is extremely important.
Dayton, Washington, another one of your 4 seniors playing in all 17 games, scoring in 15 of them. So, again, another guy that does more than maybe what the stats show.
Yeah, for sure. He defends really well. He's a huge spark for us when he comes off the bench. Unbelievably unselfish. There was a game a couple weeks ago where he was well under his normal in regards to minutes, and it was just a matchup and pace and the situation at hand where he got less minutes than normal, and we talked briefly about that in the locker room, and he cut me off right away and said, "Coach, stop, quit talking about that. It doesn't matter. We got the win." So yeah, that's what you get with him. Pretty mature, pretty impressive. He's huge for our roster.
And then your final senior is you have 4 on this year's squad. Owen Thomas, what he has brought as well. When you look at some of his numbers, he has 10-plus points in 5 of the 17 games this year. But again, a guy that seems like getting more of an opportunity.
Yeah, last year he was bouncing back and forth a little bit between varsity and JV, and by the end of the year, he transitioned primarily in the varsity, and I think he came into the season with a certain mindset in regards to his role, as we probably did as coaches. But his role has really changed over time, and he's really adjusted to that so well. He defends. One of our best defenders on ball, and a lot of times he's guarding some of the better guards on the opposing team. He's second on the team in assists, first on the team in steals. Has really become pretty dangerous driving to the basket. So he's been a huge piece of our success for sure.
That 3 ball there by Audrey Austin gets her on the board for her first 3 points of the ball game. 28-5 your score right now as we're 2 minutes into this second quarter, as the Pirates still have a commanding lead here against Harvey, as that 3 ball just off the mark. And I think one of the players that I talked with Coach Gesowich a lot about was Braden Richards and Walter Moses, the quarterback battle that never developed, that the outside wants to develop. So basketball court-wise, how are they together? And it's fun watching both of them run your offense.
Yeah, those guys are awesome. Again, kind of a consistent theme, hence why we have some of the success that we do in regards to unselfishness and understanding each other's role, and so dependable. Can do different things. Obviously Braden's, he's our leader out there in regards to running that point guard position and getting us organized, scoring when we need scoring, passing when we need passing, slowing us down when, once in a while when we like to slow it down. So he does it all, and his mentality is he's just so relentless. Whether we're up in games or down in games, he's going to give you the same effort. And Walter, again, he could give us some things offensively, but what we like about him is he's so flexible defensively. He'll guard opposing teams' wings, post players, quick guards. You can put them anywhere 1 through 5, and you feel like if we need some stops or some good contests, he's going to be able to get that for you.
How hard is it? Everyone obviously wants to score. How hard is it to get players to buy into defense?
It's pretty hard. Everyone wants to score, everyone wants to play. And actually, I was looking at your stats that you pumped out for the game today on Twitter, and I went through and I saw that we have 9 guys that have played in all 17 games. I'd be surprised if you find a whole lot of rosters in Northeast Ohio that can say 9 of their guys have played in every single game. So that many in 17 games. So, but it's they've earned that, and they understand that if we're going to be the best team that we can be in the postseason, that we need depth and we need guys coming off the bench and getting experience for a variety of different reasons. So it's just the unselfishness amongst these guys kind of leads into buying into what we ask. It kind of answers your question in regards to going, how hard is it to buy into defense when you're willing to take on roles, scoring, defending, spot minutes, matchup minutes type things. Then the defensive piece is just another thing that they buy into, which we appreciate.
And before I ask you about the postseason, because it's easier for me to speculate than for you to comment on it, but you guys had the trip down to Florida in December. Obviously, Perry being a small school, there's a lot of relationships that are already in place, but how much of a bonding trip was that for you guys?
I can't speak for them, but I could tell you from my observations, I think it was a pretty special trip for them. They had a great time. They competed like crazy in the 3 games that we had, and when we weren't competing in the 3 games down there, they were able to put their guard down and relax and enjoy each other's company and take a break from school and all the other either commitments or distractions or whatever else they have going on in the scheme of being a teenager at home. So I think it was a really good release for them, and they're extremely tight-knit. They're a lot of fun to be around. You can't always say that in February.
Sure.
No, just kidding. You can't, but this has been a really a lot of fun to watch these guys come together and for us as coaches to be around these guys.
Not that I need you to handicap the playoff battle as Roz Tharp throws that one in, or project and look ahead, but a different transition for you guys, moving down to Division III this year, probably teams that you're not familiar with. So how much of a struggle or how hard is that for you guys to prepare as you know what's coming up shortly?
Yeah, it is a little bit of a challenge. We're going to have a little bit more clarity on Sunday when the brackets get organized, but there are a lot of teams that we're not overly familiar with. Some of them, without a doubt, we are. Lutheran East and Lake Catholic and Cardinal Mooney all have excellent programs. But we're actually going down to Youngstown Cheney next week. Not that they're in our division, but they play a lot of the similar schools that we potentially could see in the postseason. So we were able to pick that game up as an opportunity to get a little bit familiar with that area, maybe get some film from those guys after playing them, to take a little closer look at some of the teams that we might run into in the postseason, because a lot of them are from that area.
Coach Isofano joining us here. The boys will be in action after this game as they will play the second game of the doubleheader tonight here against Harvey, as the Pirates 32-8 right now the score, as the Pirates continue to move the ball around as Newsom puts up this 3-ball just off the mark. And I guess the last thing I'll ask before we, before you're on your way, just how fun is it? Like, your 11th, 12th year now, is it still fun and exciting to come out here and see a new group of boys, or the coaching fire, I guess. I guess once it's gone, that's when you retire, but it's probably fun seeing new bodies every year.
It is. It's been a blast this year. It really has. That isn't live stream talk. I've really enjoyed working with these guys. I enjoy my staff. They're so professional, so passionate, so dedicated to these kids and to our season, which makes my job a heck of a lot easier. And speaking of new guys to that piece, like, there's so many of these guys that I remember coming when they were in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, seeing their travel games or seeing them at camp or in their other sports that they're active in. So now to have them at the highest level in regards to the high school piece, of course, nothing new here in regards to how time flies, but it's a lot of fun being able to coach them. They have a lot of good habits and good families and good support at home.
Well, that's perfect timing. Is Abby Bartlett hits at 3, so the timeout is taken, so we can get you on your way and get ready for tonight's game against Harvey. So best of luck tonight. Hopefully we'll see you guys cutting down some nets afterwards after you come away with a win against Harvey here tonight. And best of luck the rest of the way through. Yeah,
thanks for having me up here. Thanks for everything you do. You're so professional, so informed, and you give the people at home, as I've heard multiple times, such a great viewing experience. So we appreciate it so much.
No, you coaches make it easier. If you guys didn't provide the information, it's a little bit harder, but you guys make it easy access to get familiar with your guys' players. So if anything, thank you for all the help throughout the last 6 years or so as Absolutely. We've been doing the streams. So Coach, thank you, and hopefully we'll have a nice long playoff run this year.
That's the goal.
There he is, Coach Isofano, joining us here as the boys will get ready for their game coming up here tonight. They will play the nightcap against Harvey, as the girls here in the opener, 35-8 your scores. We're just a couple minutes away from halftime, and Athletic Director TJ Rockwell will join us coming up at the half. I believe it's going to be the half of this game. It might be the half of the second game, but we'll see. And Coach Infalvi will join us in the second game as the boys will be in action. So Coach Infalvi will join us during that game to talk about this one that we're streaming right now and the season that the girls have put together. 35-8 as we're under 2 minutes to go in this opening half. Harvey with the ball. We'll set things up here for you in a moment as both Newsoms are on the floor. Grace McCoon, Abby Bartlett, as that runner is just off the mark, and Roz Tharp. It's Grace McCoon leading the way right now with 11 points for the girls that are on the floor for the Pirates. As that ball is shot over and out of bounds, it will be Harvey Red Raider basketball. As the Raiders get set here, it's Spikes, Jackson, Lewis, as that shot goes up by Spikes, just a little bit off the mark into the hands of McCoon. We'll set up the 5-4 Harvey here in a moment. Harvey JV, a winner earlier today, 42-21 over the Pirates, as Jaden Newsom gets it into Tharp. Tharp at the top of the key. Tharp looking, bounce pass over to Bartlett. Bartlett over to Grace McCoon, open three, off the mark, no good. Rebound pulled in by Harvey. Pushing it back the other way. 1:10 to go here. As it's stripped away, Grace McCoon bringing it the other way. Grace McCoon slows it down now, as it would have been a 1-on-3 break. So Grace slows it down. Bounce pass over to Bartlett. Bartlett back up top to McCoon. McCoon up and under, just off the mark, as the rebound is pulled in by Spikes. Spikes gets it up front to Jackson. Jackson back to Lewis. Lewis with it. 45 seconds to go as Spikes just off the mark. Rebound pulled in by Bartlett. Jaden Newsom with it. We're going to have a quick timeout by Coach and Falvey to settle things down here as the Pirates have a 35-8 lead with 41 seconds to go here in the first half. Pirates closed the first quarter on a 17-1 run before a buzzer-beating 3 for Harvey to actually close out the quarter. But the Pirates were on a 17-1 run after falling behind 4-0. Things turned around for the Pirates, and they have been running ever since, only giving up 2 points so far here in this second quarter, as the Pirates are led again here tonight by Grace McCoon, who has 11 points for the Pirates. Victoria Lynch has 4. Abby Bartlett has 3. Sophia Makad with 3. Izzy McCoon with 7. Austin with 3. And Roz Tharp with 4. I'm going to double check the stats at halftime just in case I missed something when Coach Ice was up here with us, as Newsom initiates the offense over to Bartlett. Bartlett inside for a minute to Austin. Nothing there. Now hands it off to Austin. Austin drives to the key. Nothing there. Back up top to Newsom. That's Caitlin Newsom into Tharp. Just a little bit off the mark, but a nice save there by Bartlett as Bartlett gets it into Tharp. Jaden Newsom with it. The freshman gets it over to Austin. Back to Caitlin Newsom now. Pirates down to 15 seconds here trying to set up the offense. As Newsom gets it into Tharp. Tharp up and under. Thought about it for a minute. Rolled right off her hand, and it's going to be a turnover by the Pirates with 10 seconds to go here in this opening half. As Lola Thomas gets it into Lewis. Lewis brings the ball into the forecourt. Lewis, no one stopped her. Put up a little floater. Just off the mark, no good. Rebound pulled in by Newsom. And that will conclude our first half of basketball as the Pirates have a 35-8 lead here at the half. Grace McCoon with 11 points, Ross Tharp with 4, and the Pirates have a big lead. So as the band starts to play, I'll stop talking because you're not going to be able to hear me anyways. So the Pirates 35-8. It is halftime here at Perry. We'll have second half action coming your way in a moment.
For more information.
Do you like supporting your high school? If so, this may be your last chance to order this season's Perry Spirit Wear.
Together, we can change the news. Find out how at safekids.org.
If you're like most families, you probably have video game fans in your home. But not every game is right for every kid, which is where the ESRB ratings come in. They help parents make informed decisions for their kids. And there's an easy-to-use mobile app that gives you detailed info on specific game ratings. Video game consoles have parental controls that you can set to block certain games by age rating, so they get all the fun, and you get peace of mind.
Let's be real. There are days when every mom wants to tell her kids to take a hike.
That's
actually a pretty good idea.
Because when you take us hiking
Or let us run outside.
and acting silly, you're making our lives healthier and happier.
So next time when Mom wants you to take a hike,
Tell her to go to beoutthere.org to find fun ideas for helping kids enjoy the great outdoors. Be out there!
Hi, I'm Ice-T. As a veteran, I know that for many former servicemen and women, the battle doesn't always end when they come home. Every day, 184 veterans are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, and sadly, 20 take their own lives. When nothing else helps, professionally trained service dogs can. American Humane, serving the U.S. military for over 100 years, rescues animals in need of forever homes and trains them to become free, life-saving service dogs for our nation's veterans. If you're a veteran or know a veteran struggling with post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury, please go to AmericanHumane.org to learn about their Pups for Patriots program. Let's give our veterans a fighting chance.
You're always trying to keep your kids safe, right? What about preventing concussion? Concussion can happen anywhere, on a sports field, at the park, even at home. So you need to know the ABCs. Assess the situation, be alert for signs and symptoms, and contact a healthcare professional. Most kids recover completely, but seek care to help them get better faster. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. Keep kids safe. It's as simple as ABC.
My mom lived with ovarian cancer for 4 years and through multiple recurrences before we lost her when I was 15 years old. Treatment options were limited then. Between each recurrence, all we could do was retreat with chemotherapy and watch and wait and hope. But now, women with recurrent ovarian cancer have options like maintenance therapies that can delay recurrence. These options mean power in an otherwise powerless situation. Declare, not on my watch. Visit notonmywatch.com.
The following is a public service announcement test to determine if you need a fishing license and boat registration before you head out on the water. Let us begin. Are you your own boat? Is this your idea of fishing with friends? Do you want this in your favorite lake? It. Regardless how you answered, you need to be licensed and registered. Do your part at takemefishing.org.
Hi, I'm Chris Burke, an actor who happens to have Down syndrome. Join me in watching some great stories about inspiring people with Down syndrome.
If somebody asks me what Down syndrome is, I tell them it's just an extra chromosome in your body and it just makes learning a little more difficult.
I just hope many people with Down syndrome can follow their dreams and the passion of what they love to do.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I think she has more abilities than I do. Just to emit this incredible love that everybody was drawn to.
I thought his story was amazing. I thought he needed to get out there to inspire other people.
My name is Annie.
I'm a Salem Barlow.
I'm Megan.
Serena.
Chrissy Bates.
Yeah.
And this is my
great story. My great story.
This is my great story. You can watch at ndss.org/stories.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Nearly half of children with autism wander away from safe places, such as their home or school. If you ever see a child walking alone, remember the 3 S's. Stop to help, seek assistance from police, stay until they arrive. If a child with autism is missing, immediately search places that pose the most danger, such as nearby water and busy streets. To learn more, visit missingkids.com/aware.
I expect it to be a lot easier.
I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I didn't know what step to take next.
I was transitioning from the military. I was a vehicle gunner.
An avionics specialist.
I was an MP, military police.
My friends thought I could do anything.
I missed my unit, my family.
Playing with my daughter, I felt like a stranger.
I was.
From Austin, Maycad, and Bartlett. All that would get you to 35 points where the Pirates are at right now. And on the other side for Harvey, Deona Jackson has 7 of the 8 points for the Red Raiders. As the third quarter now underway, as this is game number 1 of the doubleheader, as Thomas just a little bit hard off the mark into the hands of Austin, as she now brings the ball up for the Pirates. 35-8 your score. Nice packed house here at the gym for the Pirates, as this pass goes over to Izzy McCoon. Izzy McCoon inside to a wide open Newsom off the glass and in. Kayla Newsom with her first basket of the ball game. Newsom averaging about 5 points per ball game here for the Pirates. 37-8 your score, as McMullen has it. McMullen with Izzy McCoon in front of her. Nice defense there to shut her off. A nice tip away there by Austin, as that pass tried to get over to Crawford. So for Harvey, it is number 12, Thomas, Montgomery, Crawford, number 5, Lewis, and to round out McMullen, the 5 on the floor right now for Harvey. As this one almost stolen away by Maycad. It was tipped away there into the backcourt, but Harvey able to keep with it. As driving is Lewis, shut off by Grace McCoon. Pull-up jumper, a little bit short into the hands of Austin. That shot by Lola Thomas, as Austin brings it up now for the Pirates. Has Crawford on her, as Austin gets it over to McCoon. Izzy McCoon with it, working with Crawford in front of her. Kind of a little bit of a zone defense here. Is nice pass there by Maycad to get it into to Grace McCoon, and that foul will go against number 3, Dee Crawford. So for Crawford, that will be her first. Crawford, a freshman here for the Red Raiders, as Grace McCoon heads to the free throw line. As McCoon getting ready to put up the first, as that one goes a little bit hard off the back. And we'll have a little bit of a substitution coming here for the Red Raiders, as Spikes checks in, checking out number 21, Montgomery. So big for a big on the Harvey side, as McCoon puts up the second one and in. McCoon this season a 69% free throw shooter for the Pirates this season. McCoon 62 of 90 from the charity stripe, as Thomas has it. Thomas with Newsom in front of her, hands it off to Lewis. Lewis now off to McMullen. McMullen, nothing there, as she hands it off to Crawford, Crawford with a skip pass over to Lewis. Lewis into Spikes, but we're going to have a push first We'll see if it's on McCoon or if it's on Newsom. And that will go against Caitlin Newsom. So for Newsom, that will be her first, team first as well here in this second half. 30-point lead now for the Pirates, 38-8. As Thomas getting ready to inbound here for the Red Raiders. As now the ball gets pushed out to the top of the key. Lewis with it. Little floater just off the mark, no good. Rebound pulled in by Maycad. Maycad pushing it back the other way. A little bit behind Grace McCoon, but McCoon able to stay with it. McCoon, skip pass over to Austin, and it's going to be tipped away by Lewis. Lewis bringing it back the other way, and she's going to dribble it off her foot, and it's going to be a turnover by Harvey. So the Pirates will catch a break there, as that was a nice steal by Lewis. Just couldn't get a grasp of the ball, so she turns it over. As number 4, Jackson, will check back in for Harvey. Starting 5 now on the floor for the Pirates as Austin fumbled it a little bit, but a bounce pass into Maycad. Maycad over to McCoon. McCoon open 3, off the rim, no good. Rebound's going to be pulled in by Newsom in the corner. So nice offensive possession to keep it alive as Newsom gets it into McCoon. McCoon up top to Austin. Austin down low to Grace McCoon. Off the backboard, no good, and the rebound's going to be pulled down by Thomas. Thomas is pushing the other way. Almost a steal there by Grace McCoon, but Thomas, a little bit of a pump fake. That's definitely not a spot she's going to shoot it from, but a nice bounce pass inside. And that went into McMullen, nothing there, but back out to Thomas, who put up a 3, no good. We have a tie-up between Maycad and Spikes. Possession arrow will go to the Pirates. So the Pirates open up this third quarter on a 3-0 run. As a substitution comes in, as Lola Thomas will head out. And Sana Hicks, number 11, will check in for the Red Raiders. 3 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. As Grace McCoon has it, pops it down into Izzy. Nothing there. Izzy bounce pass over to Grace, who thought about a 3 for a moment. Skip pass over to Austin. Austin continues to swing it over to Newsom. Izzy McCoon open 3 in the corner, and it's good. Izzy McCoon now with her second 3-pointer of the ball game. She now has 10, and the Pirates continue to extend out their lead as it is now 41-8. Ball goes into Spikes. Spikes hands it off to Hicks. Hicks off the glass, and we're going to have a 2-shot foul coming here as the foul went against, I believe it's going to be against Newsom. Yep, so for Newsom, that will be her second in the last 2 or 3 possessions now on the defensive end. So heading to the line will be Hicks. Hicks looking for her first points of the game as their first free throw goes up and in. So Hicks, another freshman on this team for Harvey, as McMullen will check out. And I believe it's going to be Franklin checking in. The black on red numbers, black jersey with the red numbers, really messing with me up here. I don't know if it's time for glasses or what, but it's a little tough to see on the front side. The numbers are nice and big on the back, but on the front, a little bit tight. I have a quick conference here with the officials. That will give me a chance to remind you that coming up on Monday, the girls will be back in action against North. That game will be streamed from here in Perry coming up on Monday. We'll also have the final game of the season against Brush. I believe maybe a technical foul. We'll have to wait for the announcement over the PA system. But Hicks getting ready to shoot another one here for the Red Raiders as Hicks puts up another one up and in. So Hicks now with 2 free throw makes. And so Izzy McCoon will go to the line. It was an illegal substitution for the Red Raiders as McCoon puts the first one up and in. McCoon, an 83% free throw shooter on the season, rattles out the second one. McCoon, 29 of 35 on the season, splits the pair. So what happened there, Harvey finished off their second half of that free throw by Hicks, and then the illegal substitution gave Perry 2 free throws on the other end, and it will give Perry the basketball. So after all that confusion is figured out, Pirates find themselves on a 7-2 run here to open up the quarter. As more folks are filing in now as we get ready for the nightcap of this game, as the boys will be in action against Harvey, as McCoon gets it over to Austin. Izzy McCoon, long two off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound pulled in by Hicks. Hicks bringing it back the other way, now slows it down for the Red Raiders. As Hicks has it at the top of the key, Hicks looking. Met by Izzy McCoon, nothing there. She picked up her dribble, gets it over on a bounce pass over to Franklin. And we're going to have a foul going against the Pirates. Coach Falvey is going to have basically a line change coming in here. I believe that went against Newsom. I think that's going to be her third foul here, and it will be. So Newsom picks up her third, and 4 Pirates come out. So it's going to be both Newsoms in, along with Lynch, Bartlett, and Tharp. So a double Newsoms, Bartlett, Tharp, and Lynch. You're 5 on the floor right now for the Pirates. So for Kayla Newsom, she picks up her third. It's also the team's third here in this third quarter. 42-10 your score. As Spikes gets it into Jackson. Back into Franklin, Download Spikes. Off the mark, no good. Gets an offensive rebound, puts it off the glass and in. So another freshman, Alana Spikes, scoring here for the Red Raiders. As this one goes into Kayla Newsom. Bounce pass over to Bartlett. Bartlett swings it over to Tharp. Tharp puts it on the ground, gets into the paint, gets it back up to Lynch. Lynch thought about a three for a moment. Now the Pirates starting to run their offense. Jaden Newsom with it, passes it to her older sister, Caitlin. Over to Tharp. Tharp on the ground, bounce pass to Lynch, pump fake, and we're going to have a travel going against Victoria Lynch. So it's going to be a turnover by the Pirates, and that will be a turnover and a substitution coming in for Harvey as number 21, Montgomery, getting ready to check back in. Lewis checking out for the Red Raiders. As the inbounds comes into Hicks. Hicks brings it over into the forecourt. Hicks looking. Nothing there. Nice defense here by the Pirates. As hands it off to Jackson. Jackson, the leading scorer in the first half for the Red Raiders. Runner goes in and out. Rebound pulled in by Jaden Newsom. Newsom bringing it back the other way for the Pirates. As Newsom looks, gets it over to Kayla Newsom in the corner. Newsom brings it back towards the top of the key. Hands it off to Tharp. Tharp with 2 defenders in front of her. Now Harvey back into a little bit of a zone defense here for the Red Raiders. As Newsom recognizes it, brings it back out top to restart the Pirate offense. As Tharp has it, tries to go through the middle, nothing there. Kicks it out to Newsom, back up top to Lynch. Pirates now reset as they continue to move their players around, trying to find the hole in this zone. As Tharp almost had it stripped away, and we're going to have it actually stripped away. Jackson coming the other way. Has Lynch to beat, puts up a little bit of a floater, no good, into the hands of Tharp, and the Pirates come back the other way. 2:20 to go here in this third quarter. As Newsom over to Tharp. Tharp skip pass over to Jaden Newsom. Newsom for 3. Off the mark, no good. And it's going to be last touched and saved. Beautiful save there by Jackson as she gets it over to Hicks, and we're going to have a foul going against Abby Bartlett. So for Bartlett, that will be her second foul, as that was a nice save there by the Red Raiders, by Jackson, to dive to save that one, that last play there, get it into Hicks. Hicks taking it strong into the body of Abby Bartlett, and for Bartlett, that will be her second foul. Now already the team's 4th foul here for the Pirates in this second half, as it's now a 42-12 lead for the Pirates. As Hicks puts up the first, she continues to be perfect as she hits her 3rd free throw of the night. Spikes is checking out for the Red Raiders along with Jackson. And Diamond Jackson will check back in along with Deonis Jackson for the Red Raiders. As the second one is up and good. A perfect 4 for 4 for the young freshman Hicks. Brings it to a 42-13 lead for the Pirates. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Newsom with it. Gets it over to Caitlin. Caitlin looking inside to Tharp. Nothing there. Nice defense there by Jackson to shut that one off. Tharp will move to the other side and try it again. Ball inside to Tharp. Bounce pass. Tried to get it over to Bartlett, but it's going to be smacked away by Montgomery. Montgomery's going to get it into the hands of Hicks. Hicks is going to slow it down now for the Red Raiders with Caitlin Newsom, in front of her. Hicks picks up her dribble. Bounce pass inside. Lynch all over the back of of Montgomery. Montgomery missed the shot that ended up coming with a foul on the other end. So for Montgomery, that will be her first, team third for the Red Raiders. So 42-14 your score. Under 90 seconds to go here in this third quarter. Perry Pirates looking to win game number 17 this season and take the first game of this Harvey Perry doubleheader. Nice pass by Tharp inside to Lynch. Lynch able to lay that one in. She now has 6 points. And nice look by Tharp at the top of the key to get it inside to a wide open Victoria Lynch. Lynch now with 6 points. Is that floater by Hicks just off the mark? No good. Last touch by the Red Raiders. Quick substitution coming for both teams. Kayla Newsom checks out. Austin checks in. Dee Dee Crawford will check in for the Red Raiders. 1 minute to go, third quarter. Newsom with Hicks all over. Gets it up top to Tharp. Tharp inside to Lynch again. This one just a little bit too strong as Lynch wasn't able to close her hands on it as that one skips through, and it's another turnover by the Pirates. 30-point lead here as these two teams met just 6 days ago when Perry beat Harvey there 44-6. Another substitution coming here as the Diamond Jackson checks out, and McMullen, number 10, will check in for the Red Raiders. Hicks now bringing it up. Hicks put it up a little runner, and she's going to be fouled by Victoria Lynch. So for Lynch now, that will be her first foul. Lynch with 6 points here on the ball game. She picks up her first foul, but the problem is Sana Hicks heads back to the free throw line where she's a perfect 4 for 4 here in this third quarter. Hicks puts up the first and perfectly in. So if you're looking here, that's 5, 6, 7 of the 15 points for Harvey coming from the free throw line. As Hicks getting ready for the second, puts it up and in. So half of the Harvey points coming from the free throw line, 6 of them coming in this quarter from Hicks herself, as Austin has it at the top of the key. 35 seconds to go, third quarter. Nice defense there by Montgomery. Gets it over to Newsom. Newsom bounce pass to Tharp. Tharp, top of the key, looking. Nothing there. Gets it over to Lynch. Lynch brings it back out. Reset the offense with 20 seconds to go. Lynch with it. Austin up top. Austin down low into Newsom. Newsom up off the backboard, just off the mark, but she's able to keep the possession alive. Offensive rebound, as it looked like Tharp was blocked from behind by Hicks. Able to almost get her own rebound. Harvey pulls it, and they're starting to push the other way. Austin has it. 5 seconds to go. Austin with it. 2-on-1. Austin to Newsom. 1 second. It's in the air. 3 ball is good. At the buzzer, Jaden Newsom with her 10th 3-point make of the season. As just looked a little chaotic, but the Pirates able to score here before the third quarter ended, so they're able to extend the lead to 47-16. We'll take a quick timeout and bring you the final 8 minutes as the girls have a commanding lead. Back here in Perry, we get ready to bring you the final 8 minutes of this ballgame. Pirates 47, Harvey 16, but a nice quarter there by Harvey coming out of the half. Pirates scored 12 points in the third quarter. Harvey, scored 8, 6 of them coming from Sana Hicks from the free throw line. So 47-16 is where we stand right now, as the Pirates will have 2 games remaining after tonight. Coming up next week, both home games against North and against Brush. So hope to see you out here. One of those two being senior night coming up for the ladies next week before the playoffs begin. As that foul will go against Grace McCoon. For McCoon, that will be her second. McCoon leading the way for the Pirates here tonight. I have her for 12. I'm waiting for the scoreboard to put her back into the game just to make sure. Coming up in the second game, the boys will be in action following this game against Harvey. Oh, that was a nice play there by Franklin, going high off the glass and in. So Franklin with 2 as back up top to Izzy McCoon as Grace thought about a 3 for a moment, puts it on the floor, gets it over to Newsom. Newsom 3 ball and in. So back-to-back possessions for the Pirates, back-to-back 3 balls by the Newsom sisters. As I was going to say, coming up in the second game during the boys' game, Coach and Falvey will join us, along with Athletic Director TJ Rockwell, as there is a travel going against Harvey, so it'll be a turnover, Pirate basketball. Both will join us in the second game. The boys looking to clinch the outright CVC championship. Girls have already completed that task in their game against Geneva last week. Their 7th straight CVC championship. Boys already have clinched the share of the Lake Division, looking to have it outright if they can beat Harvey here tonight. But we still have 7 minutes to go in this game. 50-18 your score. As Newsom, bounce pass over to McCoon. McCoon, shut off. Newsom thought about a 3. She has Crawford in front of her. Nice up and under crossover move by McCoon. Nothing there. It looked like she was fouled, but nothing called. As Thomas has it, bringing it back the other way. Thomas goes up strong, and it was last touched, I guess, by Izzy McCoon, and it will remain Harvey basketball. From here, looked like it was last touch, but it's going to be a timeout by Harvey, so quick timeout, a 30-second timeout coming up. As we'll keep it here for this quick 30-second timeout. As the Pirates look to continue their win streak, they look to win their 6th game in a row. Their last loss coming at Gilmore was a 63-50 loss, but since then, wins against Beechwood and Lakeside here, and then on the road against Edgewood, Geneva, and Harvey last Saturday. So the Pirates look to continue strong as they will finish out this season with 3 home games, or 2 more after tonight's game. As the Pirates break the huddle, it will be both Newsoms, both McCoons, and Sophia Makad on the floor for the Pirates. I don't know if Sophia feels a little bit left out. I don't know if she has any brothers or sisters, but we might as well throw one of them into the game, as we have a pair of sisters on each side on the floor now for the Pirates, as Thomas looks to inbound. 6:47 to go here in the ballgame. As this one goes a little deep, it should be an over and back, but I guess we're going to let that one go. As Thomas has it. Thomas into the paint, kicks it over to Crawford. Crawford back up top to Franklin. Franklin working on Makad. Franklin bounce pass into Spikes, a little bit low for her, but able to keep the possession alive is Thomas. Thomas into the paint, over to Franklin. Franklin thought about the shot before she caught it, and it's going to be a turnover by the Red Raiders. But that was a nice offensive possession there for the Raiders. Kept it alive on the offensive side, had a couple of nice passes, just could not keep the possession alive as McMullen checks in, Spikes checks out. And I think someone else checked in, but I missed who that was, so we'll try to set up Harvey's 5 here in a moment as Newsom gets it into McCoon. Grace McCoon up top to Makad. Makad over to Izzy. Izzy, pull-up jumper, and good. Izzy McCoon hits again. McCoon now with 6 points here in this second half. She had 7 in the opening quarter. Well, scoreboard has her at 13, so I'm off by 1 as Hicks puts up that runner, no good. Rebound pulled in by the Pirates. Jaden Newsom with it. Over to Grace McCoon. McCoon for 3, and she hits. Grace McCoon with her second 3-ball of the ball game. And the lead continues to balloon out here, 55-18. Only 2 minutes gone by here in this fourth quarter. Pirates looking to win here as Hicks puts up a 3-ball and hits. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Hicks, for a freshman, is having a very good game. This is her 9th point of the ball game. 6 from the charity stripe, 1 from behind the arc. As this pass, nice pass in from Izzy McCoon to her sister Grace. As Grace McCoon scores again. I think the PA announcer had it backwards as Izzy comes up with a steal here into Newsom. Newsom off the glass, just off the mark, no good. Offensive rebound pulled in by, nope, it's going to be taken away by Jackson. Jackson pushing back the other way, gets it to Franklin. Franklin pull up, and she hits. And I believe we're going to have a quick timeout. The official needs to tie his shoe, so we're going to have a quick substitution coming in. We have Makehad, Newsom, Caitlin Newsom, that is, and both McCoons checking out. Checking in, Austin, Tharp, Lynch, Jaden Newsom, and Abby Bartlett. Your 5 on the floor right now for the Pirates. As Bartlett gets it into Tharp. Tharp brings it into the forecourt over to Lynch. Lynch now with it. Pulls it back, slows things down as the ball gets over to Bartlett. Into Austin in the corner. Austin with Jackson in front of her. Tharp flashed for a moment, but nothing there as Lynch found Tharp. Tharp inside to Austin. Austin puts it on the ground. Bounce pass over to Newsom. A little bit too hard of a bounce pass as they're basically standing on top of each other, so it's going to be a turnover by the Pirates as the Red Raiders will get the possession. 4:25 and counting here in this final quarter. 57-23 the score. Pirates out in front of the Red Raiders as Hicks floater, and she's going to be pushed by Jaden Newsom. So Hicks will go back to the free throw line as Newsom will pick up her first foul, but Hicks will head to the free throw line as she is a perfect 6 of 6 from the charity stripe. So this young freshman having a very good game here tonight as Hicks takes a couple dribbles, puts up the shot, and of course the announcer jinx. As she was a perfect 6 for 6. Is that one just off the mark? Crawford will check out for the Red Raiders. Checking in will be number 5, Lewis. As Hicks getting ready for her second. Looking to split the pair. As Hicks puts up the second, up and in. So 7 of 8 from the free throw line. She now has 10 points in this ballgame. 10 of the 24 for the Red Raiders as the ball gets into Lynch. Lynch with Jackson in front of her. Over to Bartlett. Bartlett hands it off to Newsom. Newsom over to Austin. Austin into Lynch, who would nice bounce pass into Tharp. She goes up and under and in. Beautiful play by Roz Tharp to go up and under. A good look by Lynch to get her the ball down in the post. 59-24. Tharp now with 6 points in this ball game. As that shot goes up and in. I missed who it was, so I'll wait for the scoreboard to tell me. I was writing something down and looked down for a minute. But it was a nice basket there, a 2-pointer by Harvey. As Lynch has it now, for the pass from Bartlett. Lynch brings it back out up top. Lynch is going to be fouled by Hicks. Yep. So first foul on Hicks. That will be the 3rd team foul for the Red Raiders as we have 2 substitutions coming in. Bartlett out and Austin out. Checking in number 4, Chloe Haas. Also checking in number 24, Sophia Wise. For Wise, this is her 7th varsity game of the season. For Haas, this would be number 9 for her in this varsity season. Both of them played in the JV game a little bit earlier today, a game in which Harvey won 42-21. Under 2 minutes to go here in this ballgame. 59-26 your score. Jaden Newsom with it, working on Crawford. Gets it over to Lynch. Lynch almost thought about getting into Tharp. Instead, up top to Wise. Wise over to Newsom. Newsom bounce past the Haas. It's going to be stolen away by Franklin. Franklin pushing back the other way. Franklin stops, hands it off to Lewis. Lewis now over to Hicks. Hicks with Tharp in front of her. Picks up her dribble. She's going to have that one tipped away, so she's going to be able to fall on it. And we have a timeout called by Harvey. So that will stop the clock with 1:20 to go here in the ballgame. 59-26 your score. This game got going quickly for the Pirates as they fell behind 4-0 in the first quarter, Then went on a 17-1 run to basically close out the first quarter. And since then, Harvey has been trying to inch their way back. Harvey did have a fantastic third quarter as they were only outscored by the Pirates by 4. It was a 12-8 third quarter, but the Pirates now have turned it on, and they are out to a 59-26 lead here. As we look at some of the leading scorers for the Pirates. Grace McCoon leading the way. She had 11 in the first half. She has 17 in the ballgame. Bartlett still with 3. Lynch with 6. Sophia Makehad had an early 3 in the first quarter. That's where she sits right now. Izzy McCoon with 13. Audrey Austin with 3. Jaden Newsom with 3. Caitlin Newsom with 5. And Roz Tharp with 6 points here in this ballgame. As the Pirates break the huddle, it will remain the same 5 on the floor. Tharp, Lynch, Jaden Newsom, Sophia Wise, and Chloe Haas, the 5 on the floor for the Pirates for the final minute 20 as the place is now packing up. It was a nice crowd here for the girls' game. Couple more bodies in the stands now as the boys will play the nightcap of this doubleheader as they will play host to Harvey. Boys beat Harvey earlier in the season back in December, but as Coach Ice told us during the second quarter, this Harvey team has been on a 2-game winning streak, putting things together under Coach Woj as he's in his 11th season for the Red Raiders. But nice little up and under. We're going to have a foul going against Wise. I guess we're going to have it on the floor. So for Wise, that will be her first foul. But the game, I didn't wear my watch, so let me see. It's 7. So probably a little bit after 7:30, the boys will be in action against Harvey. After this game, we'll take a quick timeout and get ready for that boys game as this first free throw is up and no good. Part of the 1-and-1, no good. But it's going to be a steal there by Lewis to keep the possession on the Harvey side as Montgomery got it over to Crawford. Franklin back over to Lewis, and she hits. So Haley Lewis connects. She has her first basket of the ballgame as Jaden Newsom brings it over. All they have to do for the Pirates is dribble out the final 10 seconds of the ballgame. Victoria Lynch with it. She's dribbling. Nothing there. She's going to continue to dribble. Hands it off to Tharp. Tharp back up to Haas. Haas puts up a 3. Off the mark. No good. And that will do it as the Lady Pirates win 59-28. So the Pirates victorious here in this opening game. They now improve to 17-4 on the season. And a 6-game winning streak for the Pirates. Coming up in the second game, the boys will take on Harvey. And we'll have all that action here on the stream for you as well. In that second game, girls coach Roy and Falvey Jr. will join us along with athletic director TJ Rockwell. So instead of trying to yell over the band, we'll take a quick timeout. And we'll have the boys game coming up in about 15 minutes.